Good afternoon, Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. Welcome to Special Report Afternoon Edition. I'd like to thank KC Securities for sponsoring both the morning edition and the afternoon edition of Special Report. I'm Chris Holtgorn, and I'm here with Colette Linden.
Good afternoon. It's rainy. It's gross. I just stood outside to get into the Dollarama, and we got absolutely drenched. So
yeah, fun times.
Yeah, it's good. You can tell by my slick back hair right now. It's wet.
It's a new look.
It's a nice new look. It's like the guy that ordered it yesterday for the 8 years later it got delivered.
Yeah, he got his Brill cream, which I think he probably ordered in the 60s, not 8 years ago.
8 years. Did they offer up any type of explanation?
I would have asked for one.
Absolutely. Did he at least get it for free?
I would think he
refunded?
probably got refunded the Brill cream maybe 7 years ago.
I was going to say,
so
if he hasn't followed up on
Brill
that.
cream. I mean, what better surprise from Canada Post can you get than that?
Did it say what store?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Well, we've got a great show today. We have a lot of news. We've got a lot of local news. We're going to start off with today. You've got some great rants coming up.
Oh, yes. Me and the city. Good friends, as usual.
You are in for it today, Sault Ste. Marie. We also we have some videos from Clean North. They have an event on Saturday from 9 to noon, and that is at the university, just outside the athletic center there, and it's a Christmas tree mulch, but we'll get into more about that later. I just want to let everybody know Saturday morning from 9 to noon. Okay, so we have an update to that SUV story I was telling you about earlier today about the motorcycle up on Second Line and
I remember.
East Bay Road, I believe. So it was driven, the SUV was driven by a 17-year-old male. He was driving westbound. The motorcycle was driven by a 19-year-old male who was driving eastbound, clearly. The initial investigation revealed that the driver of the SUV turned into a private driveway in the 1300 block of Second Line West and got into the pathway of the motorcycle. And the grave conclusion there is that they got in an accident. Now, there's no update right now. The driver of the motorcycle was taken to hospital with serious injuries. That's where it's left right now. Investigation's ongoing. So wanted to update you guys on that. So yeah, when you're driving, I know it's difficult, with motorcycles on the road. Maybe you've got to really check and
they're just getting out too. We haven't seen them for a long time.
Sure. Have you ever been on a motorcycle?
I was on one of those little ones, like a dirt bike,
dirt bike, yeah.
When I was younger. No, not a moped, producer Mike.
Says God.
An actual motorbike. And actually, my uncle was a professional motocross racer.
Really?
So, yes, he was.
Excellent
yeah.
stuff.
And then he broke both his legs at the same time, and his wife said, "Enough is enough. Get a real job."
Oh.
Yeah.
Did he break his legs after she said that to him?
No, he broke his legs, and then she said it to him. Yes, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, she's like, enough breaks. I mean, like, he and I are like metal from the waist down. So.
Yesterday was hashtag Algoma goes great. We do apologize that we didn't mention this yesterday. It didn't come across the news desk. So this is a part of Kylie Provenzano, who is obviously the mayor's wife.
Yep.
She was diagnosed with a brain tumor a few years ago. And since then, she's done a lot for the community. You see a beautiful picture of them and their 3 daughters there. How cute are they? So she wanted to create a walk. I guess it's May 2nd every year, or around that there was the national walk, I do believe. Yep. But they picked May 27th because 27 Canadians will hear that they have a brain tumor every day. So they chose the 27th. So I thought that was really creative. Obviously that was did not come to fruition due to the pandemic at the moment, but hashtag was out there.
Yeah, the mayor talked about it on Monday night at the council meeting.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And she's #1 in fundraising for all of Canada right now.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got goosebumps. That's amazing.
She's committed to actually still being #1. So.
Well, what a strong woman indeed. Yeah. You've got 3 young daughters. Obviously, you're busy with other community events, and to be that prevalent with their
and the premier is there.
I'm hearing an alert from
producer Mike. So here's Doug Fort.
Earlier this week, I ordered a full report from the Canadian Forces to be made public. I wanted everyone to see what I saw, because getting more eyes on the situation was critical. I wanted the public to know exactly what we're dealing with, because it's only through openness and transparency that we can ensure those who need it will be protected, that we can ensure there'll be accountability, that we can ensure there'll be justice. And I stood at this podium day after day. I promised you there would be action. I promised you I would break down the silos, I would push the system, and we're moving at lightning speed. We've taken decisive action. We appointed temporary management of 7 homes in the system. We're deploying inspection teams to our homes. 6 teams of inspectors will be actively monitoring the hardest hit homes for the next 2 weeks. In the next 3 weeks, there'll be a full inspections of every home we're concerned about. And we'll be doing spot checks in homes throughout the system. We launched a full investigation following the military report. The Chief Coroner and the Auditor General have also launched investigations. And we moved up our independent commission to July. No stone will be left unturned. We're working around the clock to keep your loved ones safe. We're pulling in reinforcements, boots on the ground from every corner. Hospitals, public health, home and community care, volunteers and students, our men and women in uniform. Everyone is pulling in the same direction. And in April, our government set up an incident management system long-term care table to rapidly respond to problems in our long-term care homes. This is a multidisciplinary team of experts. This table is made up of the best and the brightest. We sent in our COVID-19 SWAT teams to help with infection prevention and control, support appropriate staffing levels, and complete testing of all residents. We filled priority requests for PPE within 24 hours, millions of protective masks and gloves that our frontline staff needed. We worked with our hospitals to partner them with long-term care homes in urgent need of support. We were, and we still are, all hands on deck. And we will keep going until the job is done. So today, I'm extending the mandate of that table, and we are seeing results. Positive tests for COVID-19 among residents have gone down to single digits. We have completed testing in all of our homes, and the second round is well underway. And in the event of a surge of a new COVID-19 cases in the community, we will be prepared. My friends, we're sparing no expense. We're stopping at nothing because the stakes are too high. We will do whatever it takes in our power to protect our most vulnerable seniors and ensure they get the care they deserve. That is my commitment to our long-term care residents, to staff who care for them, their families, and to the people of Ontario. Thank you, and God bless the people of Ontario. Now I'll pass it over to Minister Fullerton.
Today, our government is renewing the mandate of the Incident Management System Long-Term Care Table, also known as the IMS Table. The IMS Table meets daily to organize efforts across multiple providers and ministries and make rapid decisions to support long-term care homes in need. Homes identified for support are those struggling to maintain clinical stability, complete infection prevention and control assessments, ensure appropriate staffing levels, have access to personal protective equipment or PPE, and complete the testing of all long-term care home residents and staff. Through the work of this table, we have seen marked improvements to our long-term care homes affected by COVID-19 outbreaks. Some key improvements are, since May 1st, increased the numbers of low-risk green homes from 356 to 547 homes, representing 87.4% of all long-term care homes in the green zone. Since May 1, reduced the number of high-risk red homes from 35 to 19. That's a 54.3% improvement. And as of May 27th, the IMS has deployed 37 hospitals into 59 yellow homes and 19 red homes. Completed testing of long-term care resident and staff with a second round of testing already underway. The number of COVID-19 positive tests in long-term care homes decreased from 12.5% to 7.5%. And as of May 28th, 129 out of 626 long-term care homes are in active outbreak from a high of 190 on May 18th. 164 outbreaks have been resolved. And what we saw in the reports from the Canadian Armed Forces was gut-wrenching and appalling. And my heart goes out to the families and loved ones of those affected by these allegations. These 5 homes were the absolute hardest hit homes in our province from COVID-19 outbreaks and staffing issues. And that is why our government requested the assistance of our Canadian Armed Forces to help stabilize these homes. Additionally, our government has taken immediate and direct action to investigate and correct these situations identified in the Canadian Armed Forces report. I can confirm that the teams of inspectors announced yesterday are currently in all 5 of the CAF homes today. And these teams of 2 inspectors for each home will develop customized inspection plans based on the details outlined in the CAF report. These comprehensive inspections will include record and chart reviews, in-depth interviews with staff and residents, and observations in order to determine the extent of the issues, among other items the inspectors deem necessary. The 5 long-term care homes that received CAF support have undergone 45 inspections from June 2018 to May 2020. These 5 homes have been receiving support from hospitals, Ontario Health, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Long-Term Care, as well as Public Health Ontario. And also, inspections have been scheduled to occur at all the 19 red homes within the next 21 days. With respect to yesterday's announcement about alternative management being appointed at several homes, I will provide you with the list of managers being appointed to those homes. Trillium Health Partners will be managing Camilla Care. Unity Health Toronto will be managing Eatonville. North York General will be managing Hawthorne Place. Scarborough General will be managing Altamount. And I want to thank these hospitals for assisting our long-term care homes during this unprecedented time. As the Premier said yesterday, we will use every tool available to stabilize our long-term care homes. The safety and well-being of our residents, their caregivers, and their families are our #1 priority. We will get through this. Thank you.
We'll go to the phone line for questions. First question.
First question comes from Lucas Meyer from Newstalk 1010. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Premier, on the inspections of the 4 specific homes laid out in the military report.
Welcome back. Thanks to the Premier for that address. What we wanted to do right now is to acknowledge a community beautiful lady named Isabel Didi, and it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Izzy. We're going to show some pictures. Izzy is a phenomenal singer as well as an amazing athlete, and that's her beautiful face right there. So she is 17 today. Happy birthday, Izzy. We love you. She is part of Mustang Sally's. You'll see her there. That is the singing group out of Cora. Amazing. If you ever have an opportunity to go see them sing, please go do that. They have a great coordinator, and that's my son Connor and Izzy just enjoying the day there. So just wanted to wish a beautiful girl, Izzy, a great day. And hopefully, when they do the drive-by birthdays, they won't have to deal with thunderstorms or rain. So why don't you update them on that, please, Mr. O'Corn?
Okay, let's blame it on Traverse City.
Okay, why not?
Why not? The thunderstorm is coming up from Traverse City direction. It is coming our way, and it will hit us for sure, pretty much. We already got the rain going on. The Thunder Boomer part of it is on its way. It's not here yet, but it will be joining us later today and through the night.
Great.
So we are at 22 right now, though, so it's still at least nice and somewhat warm out there. And then tomorrow will be partly cloudy, high 15, low of 8, and Saturday, high of 10, low of 2. So yeah, we're not going in the right direction on temperatures right now. So this weekend will not be like last weekend.
Okay.
This weekend is going to be a little bit on the chillier side. I hope you didn't put away all your winter stuff. You might actually.
Oh, don't say that.
You might need it if it goes down to 2. But yeah, so we're gonna hit a commercial now. Now that I've given you that high point of what's going into the next for your weekend, And we'll be right back after the break.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road? A few sharp turns. And doing things for what we adore, but might regret later. A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to.
A message from the Government of Canada.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room. Create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
And welcome back. And now for some Facebook shoutouts. I'd like to say hi to Connie, Helene, and Maria. So far,
Good
made
afternoon,
comments.
everybody.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so I mentioned this morning that there was an article published yesterday in Explore Travel Magazine and it was paid for, it wasn't a real article, it was paid for by the city as an advertorial into Explore Magazine, one of the top travel magazines in this country. On my show tonight, I have a longer, in-depth look at how stupid that was, but here's a short clip.
Say it like it is.
You're gonna see it up on your screen right now, okay? This is what one lady said. Don't come to our community. Virus is not under control as of yet. Stop pushing for tourists to come to the Soo. Okay, brilliant comment. City website this morning, comment deleted. Guess what? Guess what? On your screen right now, the only comments are positive. The negative comments were all deleted.
Cut.
And if you'd like to see the full 7-minute version of that, that was just a nice little
7 minutes.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my
Oh, I'm sure the city's going to be crapping their pants after they see this tonight. Pretty sure they're getting a couple negative phone calls tomorrow from angry residents
I'm
on their
pretty sure you're gonna
absolute
get a couple.
utter stupidity of saying, "Hey, Canada, let's all come to the Soo because we don't have cases here, so come here," even though you could have cases from where you're coming from. Okay. So anyways,
Well
that's tonight's 7. Also tonight's 7, I have Gary Leith. He's a public health inspector from Algoma Public Health, and he and I talk about a bunch of different things. He's also on my show tomorrow night as well, but here's a short clip from that. Let's say I own a restaurant. So what would happen if I own a restaurant and you walked in tonight and I had my dining room open?
So currently under the emergency order, dining rooms are not permitted to be open, so you'd be in violation of the provincial order. So your business would be closed. So at the time we do continue to do inspections of our restaurants. We do have a mandate as public health inspectors to go into our food premises to ensure food safety. But now we continue to do inspections to ensure compliance with the guidelines for the COVID-19 strategies So if your dining room was open, you would be closed by order of the health unit and possibly closed and fined in accordance through provincial legislation, through provincial enforcement officers such as the police.
Okay, so if you want to see the full rant on the Explore magazine article and the brilliance of City Hall, as well as my interview with Gary Leith, the public health inspector at Algoma Public Health, tune in tonight at 7 p.m. You can also watch it at 7 a.m. tomorrow, and it will be on both Facebook and YouTube tomorrow as well. And it'll be on SiouxOnline.com. So you can check it out everywhere. And while I talk about the brilliance of people in this town. Anyways, your turn.
Okay,
Yep,
is this the
your turn.
interview tomorrow where you're talking about bathrooms as well?
Yes, tomorrow's the toilet one.
Okay,
Yeah,
so there's
that's
a
with
lot
Gary
going
Leith,
on
yeah.
for a Friday night
Yes.
tomorrow if you haven't made any plans.
Toilet fun,
You
I
might need
guess.
to hit
how
the
to, how to
LCBO
use a
first, but-
toilet in COVID-19, which, by the way, turns out you can't. But you can't do it safely.
Or we can go
yeah.
to Danny's her PSA this morning. And
Or you
remind
can just
not to go
urinate all
outside.
over town like apparently some runners have been
Don't
doing.
do that. Danny's yelling at you in the corner. I can see it out the corner of my eye.
that
Okay, over to Algoma Family Services. They have instituted a walk-in counseling, a virtual walk-in, okay? Virtual walk-in counseling sessions. That's going to take place.
Wait a second. How do you virtually walk?
You just do, Chris. It's
Okay.
just it's a twist on the word walking counseling, but you're
okay. That was
virtually
just-
walking
okay.
in. Thank you.
So it's
you know
really
what?
just
I'm
virtual
going to do a
counseling.
rant on you later.
Yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
How to make an appointment? Call CMHA's access line there. You'll see it at 705-759-5989. I don't have my glasses on. I'm hoping I have that correct, and which I'm pretty sure I do. It is on Tuesdays, and on the column there you can see what you can expect. So we wanted to share that information with you. If you need any counseling services, that Algoma Family Services has that there for you. So there was someone was pulled over. 25-year-old Sean Fortier was pulled over yesterday for impaired driving on Queen Street. He did not pass a drug test, so he's obviously charged with impaired.
So alcohol and drugs?
Just drugs at this time. He did not pass that, but the vehicle rolled back and hit the cruiser on not one but two occasions. So
How does that happen? Do you roll back, hit it, then move it forward and roll back and hit a second time?
How do you roll back on Queen Street? I mean, isn't it level?
It's not like Lake Street or something. It's a flat road.
I think he left it in the R position and didn't put it in the P position, or I don't really know what's going on
R
there.
for ridiculously impaired?
Yeah, we'll go with that, Chris. So Trudeau's calling for a global response to heal COVID-19's economic disaster. Today he hosted the 50 countries, or top 50 leaders, and he talked about just being inclusive and working together to come up with a plan. He's worried about those countries that are on the lower end of the scale, and he's worried about how those citizens will come back from all of this. So he's talking about working together, which is great. So thank you to the Prime Minister for hosting that huge conference.
Actually, just speaking to something similar, the presidency. My mom just sent me something from this hour as 22 minutes. It says, survey finds most Canadians want the U.S. border closed during this pandemic and the presidency.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
so
that's great.
Yeah. Apparently
We've got a
the US
lot
president
more
needs to
about
close.
stuff about the
Yes.
president and some more news coming up. We'll be back right after this commercial break. Welcome back. Thank you to KC Security for your sponsorship. Just to clarify, the Algoma Family Services walk-in, virtual walk-in, Chris, on Tuesdays. If you want to make that appointment, make sure you do that on Mondays, okay? So let's go over to the Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou. He loses key decision in extradition case. What are your thoughts on that? I know this could be a larger conversation than this 30-second block. But
Yes, I actually did an interview about that the day it happened. It's available online. I did with Sputnik Radio. And that is a very tricky case.
it sure is.
Because Canada agrees to enforce American warrants. The question is, do we enforce American warrants that are of citizens of another country? That is a very sticky area in international criminal issues. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I personally don't think that she should be sent to the States because I don't think there's enough proof. They haven't shown enough proof publicly. Maybe they have behind closed doors, but publicly we have not seen the proof of what she supposedly did in the company. In terms of the back channels to Iran and so on. The U.S. have said it, but the U.S. hasn't even showed the Canadian government that proof.
No.
And they refuse to do it.
And
So my guess is it doesn't actually exist because I've done other stories with the U.S. and they say things to certain countries and it's not true. And it comes out
And we'll
later
get
that
to
they
that
just
part too.
straight up lied and they just want someone for political reasons, which is kind of what's going on here.
And she is the CFO of Huawei.
And I'm not a big China supporter, I just want to say that. You know, go
She is.
Hong Kong. But in this case, I don't think she should go to the U.S. and I don't think she should be arrested here. She should be just sent back to China.
Okay, well, she is the CFO of Huawei Technologies, and we will have more on that as it comes up. So yesterday we talked about SpaceX, Elon Musk's
Yes.
trip to
nowhere.
Trip to nowhere.
Right now.
So that was delayed yesterday, and it was due to it was down to 17 minutes to go before they were about to launch. They delayed that due to weather, and I believe it's Saturday. I don't have a time on a launch time right
they'll
now.
base it on weather too.
They
Like,
will
those
because of
launches
that
are
tropical
very, very
storm,
difficult.
Bertha, I believe it's called tropical storm Bertha.
Yeah. The way that those things launch, the weather has to be good for a vast area around because they don't want complications.
Well, no, you
So-
wouldn't, and I'm sure a lot of money went into that. We are going to switch over to our hashtag in this together. Again, we brought this up before at the
Clean
beginning
North,
of tonight. Clean North, they have an event on Saturday, May the 30th from 9 to 12 at Algoma University outside the Athletic Center. It is a Christmas tree mulch. It is a contactless event. Here's some more information.
Very well, thank you. I'm happy spring is finally here.
Yes, and it is a beautiful spring. It is. It's beautiful and hot and sunny. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you on your involvement with Clean North. As I understand it, it's been around for 31 years. And if you could just remind everyone how you guys started.
Clean North was started by an intrepid small group of volunteers about 30 years ago to get recycling launched in Sault Ste. Marie. So that's where it all started. And that we've been behind blue box recycling starting, electronics waste recycling, Christmas tree recycling, the whole 9 yards.
That's great. Now, while we're talking about Christmas trees, I understand it that on Saturday, May 30th at 9 to 12, just outside of the George Leach Center at Algoma University, you have an event or a giveaway, a contactless giveaway of mulch with regards to Christmas tree mulch. So why don't you let everybody know about that event you have going on Saturday?
Absolutely. So every year we chip up all of Sault Ste. Marie's Christmas trees into mulch, and then we usually have 2 giveaways over the summer. One in the spring and one later in the summer. Okay. And we are going ahead.
Thanks again. That was Abby. And again, the event is to be held on Saturday. It's part of our hashtag In This Together SSM campaign that we're doing. Okay, over to Trump.
Oh, yeah.
He is about to sign an executive order against social media companies after Twitter called out 2 of his tweets potentially misleading. So what happened was...
Only 2?
Only 2. So he put out a couple of tweets the other day. Twitter had put a little caption underneath saying this was not fact-checked. They cover their ASSs that way by saying it's not fact-checked and it being up there. So Trump has decided to use his power to announce an executive order.
And he has an issue with mail-in ballots. Here's an interesting thing. His press secretary, who keeps getting up, her name's Kayleigh McCulloch, she gets up and talks about mail-in ballots being bad. She mailed in her ballots the last 10 years. See me tonight at 7, Colette at 5. Good afternoon.
Have a good Thursday.